Cool. So I think we're live already, getting ready to go. No way, really a pleasure to see you again, at least virtually. And Stacy, the last time we saw each other was at the fest. How are you guys today?
Living the dream. Glad to be here. Glad to, share some knowledge with all of the people that are joining us today, and good to see you again.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always a pleasure seeing you guys. Stacy, getting to to know you guys a little bit more better and a personal level as well as a business. So it was great spending the time in Vegas. Wouldn't you agree, Noe?
Yeah, definitely a lot of great people, a lot of great, business owners. Because when we think about CPAs, we don't think about them as business owners, but they're business owners as well, right? So
hmm
a lot of great personalities, a lot of them that are really willing to work with a lot of their clients and make an impact with their community. So that was great.
Cool. And as people are joining us, welcome. Thank you for joining us today here. Today we have our good friends and partners from JMP Morgan Chase, or better known as Chase. So we have Stacy and Noe, and my name is Vicente with Latino Tax Pro for those who may not know me or know me, but my name is Vicente or Vince. I usually go by Vince. But today I'll have Stacy and Noe introduce themselves. And I'll start with Noe because Stacy has some stuff, a lot of great information that we're going to be covering today. So Noe, do you mind introducing yourself to our friends and people that don't know you yet or didn't get a chance to meet you at the fest?
Sure, no problem. Noé Castillo, I'm a senior business consultant with JP Morgan Chase for our Minority Entrepreneurs Program. Glad to be here today, and definitely, my colleague Stacy will share some great information. But one of the things that we do in our day-to-day job is to help a lot of business owners through our coaching and mentoring program. Through different pillars that where we're helping them to build a strategy for them to grow and scale. So if any of you guys might be interested in our program, feel free to stick around after the presentation, and we can provide you some additional information about that. Without further ado, I'll send it back to my colleague Stacy.
Thank you, Noe.
Hi, Perfect. Hi, everybody. Again, Stacy Dickinson with Chase Bank. I work with the Minority Entrepreneurs Initiative with my friend Noe. Really excited to share with you guys today for our presentation. I'm going to let Vince finish up if he needs to before I get the presentation up, but really excited for you all to be here and learn more about marketing in the digital world. Really important, I think, for, really any business owner, and especially you all who are working with business owners as well, to think about what takes you to the next level, whether it's for your own firm or your private practice, or for your clients who are looking to engage at a higher level within their own businesses. We are going to kind of go through some of these things quickly, but we hope that if you have questions that you will ask. Really, this is interactive. So since Vince is going to be manning the lines, I know he'll stop me if something comes up, but really excited to be here. And then, hopefully we'll also see you later this month when Noe does his presentation as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Stacy. So while Stacy gets her presentation up, everybody that's following us either here on the Zoom platform or any social media platform that you're following us from, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, you can submit your questions. We have a really great topic today on marketing in a digital world. So Stacy is going to basically be talking about that today and how to elevate that game. Brief discussion of branding and marketing strategies, the knowledge and the insights of the top 3 marketing channels for more businesses, which includes a website, social media, and email, how to maximize those. So looks like Stacy, you're ready to go, and
Whenever you're ready.
Hand it over.
All right. So I'm going to actually leave my camera on. I won't be looking at all of the chats as closely. So I will be relying again on my colleagues, Vince and Noe, to help me out with that. But again, I want to welcome you all to our brief presentation on marketing in a digital world. The world that we're living in now, we used to all watch commercials on TV. We had no choice, or we look for ads in newspapers and magazines. But things have really changed with the way that we access businesses and the way businesses get to know us. So I'm hopeful that you all will learn something from this. And if nothing else, we'd love to hear from you also, so you can share your experience with your fellow colleagues in the chats, so that they can learn from what you've done, or maybe even build upon what you're doing. So again, my name is Stacy. I'm a senior business consultant here at Chase with our Minority Entrepreneurs Initiative. I have the pleasure of working with Noe, where we work with small business owners to help them find ways to scale and grow their business. Like he mentioned, we're more than happy to talk to any of you who have questions about our program. We're really here to help you. It is a pro bono program. We don't charge anything. We're really just trying to give back to the community and help to elevate Black and Brown communities that serve in the communities where we all live. So this is just a quick statistic. I just want to throw it out there. So talking about e-commerce, 20% of e-commerce projected shares of total retail sales by 2024. So this is going to be something to really think about. You all are, maybe you're in an office, maybe you work a lot of the time virtually, but this is a time for transformation. Like, people are really looking online for the things that they want to buy, the services that they want to receive. And so there's going to be a great opportunity for all of you who are in that space and haven't maybe expanded online as best that you probably could. This can be a great opportunity for you all to continue to grow your businesses there. So as I said, because it's a time of opportunity, this is the time to take full advantage of it. We want to go over some, tips and tricks and things that we're seeing in the marketplace that could help you guys. And today's presentation really is to help to expand your digital marketing skills so that you can take full advantage of it. This is a quick poll. I do see something in the chat. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Vince. So quick poll, you don't have to answer in the chat, but maybe just think to yourself, have you increased your online business since March of 2020? Obviously, we all know what March of 2020 is. That's when things shut down with COVID, and we were all kind of forced to pivot the way that we did business. Even us at the bank. I mean, most people think, oh, bank, I go in, I get cash at the teller, I talk to a banker, but we were forced to do something different, right? We had to figure out ways to work from home when doors were shut. As a business banker, I was forced to, figure out how to help my clients who needed PPP loans and, accessing their accounts when maybe they weren't able to come in and see me. So something to really think about, did you change something up with you all? Obviously, tax professionals are always in great demand for business owners and even individuals the same. But for sure, I'm sure there was something you had to do differently. And, what did it take for you to get to that level? So some of the things we'll talk about today, we're going to talk about your unique business. Obviously, you all are, whether you have the same line of business or not, whether you're helping individuals or businesses or both, your business is going to be unique as you are. Part 2 is going to be where are your customers and how to find them, get to them. Part 3, maximizing your online spaces. 4, analyzing and adjusting. And then 5 is owning your digital spaces. So we're going to start with your unique business. So I just want to start with just this thought here. How you show up is as important as where, right? So if you're thinking about where you're going to present your business online, do you want to be just on Google or in Yelp, or do you need to be everywhere? That's really important because you're going to think about who your customer is, but you want to think about how you're putting yourself out there. Is your online ad or marketplace correct? Are your hours correct? Your phone number, things like that. These are going to be things that change the way people see you. So you want to make sure that you're being effective when you're doing this type of marketing. So branding, some of you may be franchise owners. Some of you may be, again, just working as a sole proprietor or a small LLC or corporation, but you have to think about how branding is going to affect your business. So what do people think when they see your business? Do you have a positive connotation online or in the community? What do they feel when they see your colors and logo? I'm sure many of you have logos that are very branded in your mind. Even if there was no words on that logo, you see the colors, you see the way that it's presented. You're going to say, hey, I know that's a Coca-Cola label, or I know that that's a Campbell soup can. These are things that are going to be important for you all as well as you're marketing online. And then lastly, what do people say to your customers who rep your brand, right? So if I'm just going to use an example, I met some great individuals at the Tax Fest from Toro Tax. And I just realized the other day when I was driving home that there's a Toro Tax right by my house. And I would tell somebody, oh, you know what? I met them at this event. They were great people. They have a really great value system. So am I a good representation of your brand? I would say yes in that case. But what if I met somebody that maybe wasn't as positive? Maybe, I'm just going to throw one out there like, the run of the mill big box tax preparers, right, that show up every year around, I don't know, October, November. Maybe I didn't have a good experience. They might not want me to talk about them, but that might be a good opportunity to fix the things that they're seeing from me. So as we talk about branding, a brand is always a work in progress. So even if, you have a bad connotation, somebody's like, oh, you know what, they weren't the greatest when I talked to them, you can always work on your brand. So just like growing your business, working on your brand is also a journey. You want to think about what are some of the things that people should love about you, right? Like, think about a successful brand that you know. Is there something that resonates with you about that brand, and how can you pull that into your own branding, right? So when you're thinking about your business and where you've been, sharing your experience, sharing how you got to where you are, providing, information that would help people understand that you have good character. These are all things that are going to help you with your brand that you can then pull into your digital branding as well. And honestly, it doesn't matter where you're at in your business journey. There's always a chance for you to make adjustments or fix things that may have gone awry from the beginning. So in your workbook, if you haven't received it already, we are going to be sending these out to everybody that attends after the presentation. But in the workbook, there is a worksheet where you can think about, what's your brand personality. So as you can see on the screen, like, are you more classic? Are you more modern, mature, youthful, right? And then once you're able to kind of look at your patterns, you can start to put together what your brand story is if you haven't done so already. We definitely recommend that this is something that you look at, especially if you've been in business a long time and you haven't gone into digital space, or if you're already in the digital space and maybe it hasn't been as effective for you, maybe this is a great opportunity for you to go back, look at what you've been doing, and are you maybe just not presenting who you really are in the way that you want to. So like I mentioned, you want to keep working on your brand all the time. So we do have another module that you can actually pull from our website. The link is here. We can also share this with you in the email. But under your next level business and building a business foundation, there is some great opportunities to learn more about how you present your value statement, your purpose, the mission of your business, and that will help you to focus on branding that will help people love you more. Now, some of the things you can think about when you're thinking about, creating your brand is having a strategy, right? So you want to look at your overall business strategy and putting it in together with these 7 Ps, right? So product, this is going to be, obviously how you solve a problem for your customers. In your case, most likely it's going to be some kind of tax or bookkeeping need. Next is going to be price. So finding a price that, suits your needs, right? You want to be paying yourself enough. A lot of times we find that business owners don't ask for enough money because they're afraid, like, oh, I'm just a small business, I have all these competitors. You want to think about yourself too, though. You have to make sure that you're paying yourself fairly. Next is going to be promotion. So, getting creative so that your product gets noticed. You may be in an area where there's a lot of tax preparers, a lot of bookkeepers. How do you set yourself apart, and how are you going to promote that? The place, so where your business is located is going to be really important. So are you available only in person, or do you offer online services? Are you available by Zoom if people can't get to you? Those are great things to think about. The people, right? Outstanding customer service is going to be paramount, especially for you all in a customer-facing business. So you want to make sure you also have the right people on your team, if you're not the only one representing your business, so that they present you in the best possible light. The process, so how you get your product, or in this case, your service, out there quickly and efficiently. And then lastly is going to be the physical experience, right? Like when people walk into your office, do they like the way it looks? Does it smell good? I know that's kind of funny, but just like with real estate agents who bake cookies in a house that they're going to show, same thing for you. When people walk into your office, you want them to feel, maybe it's a stressful situation. You'll want to give them something that's relaxing or fresh, something that makes them feel like they want to spend time with you. Also in the workbook, this is going to be on pages 8 and 9. This is going to be kind of that, what do people think of me? What do they say about me? How do they feel about me? And I think this is a really great way for you to also see like what it is that motivates your customers to come to you. Because then as you're trying to expand your brand and go out to other people, what is it that people that love you are saying, so that you can help to continue to present that to everyone else? So if anybody, is willing to add in the chat or speak up, I'd love to hear like, what is a number one priority for somebody in strengthening your brand? If you're a franchise owner, maybe it's, something that has to do with the franchise itself, or if you're a sole proprietor, how are you thinking about strengthening your brand? And please don't be shy. I'm sure Vince will just...
Actually, I guess one way to think about it is who is currently purchasing your products or services? It basically, that's what it translates to. So let us know in the chats. We at this point invite you guys to do that. If you're on Zoom, you can use a Q&A or just type it in the chat box. But that would be what's the purpose? What's the purpose behind even providing that service or product?
Right. Like what got you into tax preparation, bookkeeping, any of those things? You guys can really answer at any time. So I don't want to hold anybody to feet to the fire. Oh,
Jessica.
I see one.
Helping people and make money.
Hey, making money. That's why we all get up and go to work every day. And so when you're a business owner, I've been a business owner in the past. I get it, right? Like you have to go and you have to grind as a business owner. And I think it's really important, Jessica, that you said helping people, because that's going to be part of your brand too, right? People are going to understand, hey, when I go to Jessica, like she gets things done for me. She takes care of me. She helps me to understand. Some of the best bookkeepers and CPAs that I've had as my centers of influence for my clients were the ones where people said, I know that I can count on this person. So thank you for sharing that, Jessica. I'm going to move forward, but if anybody else would like to share in the chat, I'd love to see those as we continue along. We're going to keep monitoring that. But these are great things that you can throw out for your colleagues. Sometimes you don't realize that, oh yeah, that's, that is what I want to put into words. So please continue to share, and thank you, Jessica. So moving forward into section 2, we're going to talk a little bit about where your customers are. So this is going to be, your social media, if you're choosing that, your website, your strategies, email success tips, all of those pieces. So let's start first with the website. So this is your online hub. I don't know, 25 years ago, probably is when you started to see things where you're watching an NBA game and they're showing somebody shooting a free throw. And at the top of the backboard, it says, NBA.com or, Warriors.com, Latino Tax Pro, right? Like all of these things start coming up. Now, I don't think we think twice when somebody's like, oh, have you seen this thing on their website? You just go straight into your browser. So this is going to be a great place for you to include, again, useful information about your business, answers to questions people may have. Great way for you to say, I focus only on small business. I don't do individual taxes. I don't talk to people about bookkeeping. I do business taxes. I'm, a certified CPA, whatever it is. But this is going to be the place where most people go to find out about your business. And so you're going to want to have a strategy. What else is going to be included here? How is this going to continue to grow your business? And again, I feel like I'm the Google machine. It's my favorite place to go for things, but people search Google 5.6 billion times per day. So what would be a great strategy for you all? If people are going to Google first, wouldn't it be great to think like, oh, maybe I should optimize, how Google sees me? Should I have a Google, page? Do I need to be listed in Google? Or am I efficient with the way that I am doing my SEO? Can people find me effectively? Like if I have a really common name, or if I'm working under a franchise, can people find me in their local area? Really thinking about this is going to be important as you guys are doing your online marketing. So this is just an example of a professionally designed website. Maybe you don't feel like you need one, but when I look at this as an example, I feel something, right? Like I feel like this business has put some effort into their online presence, right? So what I would recommend to all of you who don't have an online presence or maybe haven't updated it in a while, think about what's going to get your clients to their answer quickly. How are they going to get to your sales funnel? How are they going to feel like, okay, this is a really professional business I'm working with? Like a lot of it does come down to aesthetics, right? And the ability to easily navigate. So when you look at all the different pieces of this website, you are going to be able to get, I see this person as an expert. I see who this person is trying to reach, a growing family. These are our new arrivals. These are the things that we can do. I could see all of you with your tax preparation businesses, your bookkeeping businesses, having something like this and having it be really effective. So some of the things, again, that it would also need down here is going to be information. This is the number 2, like your hours, how to contact you, how to connect with you, especially here. This can be your social media. Number 3, this is what I want you to buy. Here's my sales funnel. Go to my new arrivals, see what I have. And same thing for you all. Number 4 at the very top, this is going to be your business name. In some cases, it's going to also be additional menus where people can see additional things about your business. 5 is the description of your business here. 6 is just going to be really nice pictures. Sometimes that's what makes a difference, right? Like, although you are maybe just selling a service, you're going to want to have really well thought out stock photography of you and your colleagues or people who work for you, up to you. 7 up at the top is just a really nice banner that keeps the theme going, but also draws an aesthetic that you're maybe looking for. 8, this could be the owner. This could just be the clients you're looking to work with. It could be, a picture of the city you're in. 9 is going to be your recommendations, right? You're going to have people that are saying, this is why I loved working with this company. Always got a great product, great service. And then, 10 is just the overall, right? How does this website look? How does it make me feel? How does it make me want to move forward with working with this business?
Yeah, I guess one way, and that was a great point, Stacy. It's one way of thinking about it is, what is my website doing for me? How is it representing me? How is it branding me more than anything? And am I getting my message across clearly so that if any average Joe comes in and sees, well, this person does tax preparation and business consulting, and we did have a response from LinkedIn. Ileana Alvarez is saying, currently taking the California tax education course to hopefully start my own business and help my community. That's the purpose.
I love it. Thank you, Ileana. I would love to talk to you more about that after this. Maybe we can get you some additional resources on, getting your business off the ground, right? There's some great resources that we have on our website, and Noe and myself have some great connections in the communities. Maybe we can, get you connected with some more things as you get through that. And congratulations on getting that certification. It's a big step. I see your note on Zoom here. So we'll definitely connect with you. Awesome. We'll connect with you here afterwards. And, again, congratulations. So some of the things that I mentioned here, right? Your value proposition, address, and things like that. These are things that should be on your website, streamlined navigation. Another thing I really want to think about, though, is mobile friendliness. At a certain point in time, there was a really hard time with people having mobile websites on their phones. And we all know you're probably more likely to have a cell phone than to even have a laptop. So when you're on the go, you want people to be able to reach out and find you. Also thinking about accessibility. I think this is one thing that not everybody thinks about, but making sure that's compliant, or, able for people who maybe have low vision or hearing impairment, things that maybe would normally detract them from going to a certain type of site. You want to have something where it can flip easily so that they're able to also, buy services from you. Images of people are really important. It makes people feel things, right? And those testimonials again. On page 12 of the workbook, there's some information on, website building. If you're not really sure how to do it yet, these are some great opportunities to learn about some of the, I guess, kind of the template-based companies that are out there. But I would also encourage you, look in your communities, look and see if there's another small business that you can hire to help you. One of the things that we try to, I guess, build within the work that Noe and I do is building a community and a network of those around you that are also somebody that can procure business from you and vice versa. So if none of these work for you, go out in your community, talk to your local chambers or other groups that you're with and see if there's anybody out there that can help you with your website that can be, a really hands-on experience for you. All right, social media, all of us, we all know about that. Some of you are joining us from social media. So this is a, great opportunity to talk about it. You can't be on every platform, and that's really not necessary. Again, thinking about who your customer is. If you're focusing on, late stage business owners that are looking to, move on to their succession plan, maybe they're not thinking about TikTok, right? Maybe TikTok's not the place for them. I know we met some people at Tax Fest that are really big in social media and, providing a lot of great information to, the masses through social media, but thinking about who you're really trying to draw from and then what you're really good at. I think that's the best way. You can't be a jack of all trades. It's really great to have a couple of things that maybe you're really good at and focus there. And that'll also keep you from getting overwhelmed with what social media brings, right? The doom scrolling and things like that, really focusing in on where your customers are at and keeping that at the forefront of your marketing through social media. Oops. So again, just a little quick poll. You all can just think about like, okay, where am I at? But which social media platforms does your business currently use? And I want you to also, once you take a look at this, maybe you check every box. Think about where you're getting the most impact, right? So if you're on all 7 here, and you're only really getting hits in, let's just say, LinkedIn and TikTok, do you need to put all that extra energy in all of the other platforms, or can you focus in and really get the maximum impact from your time? All right. So when you're choosing your social media platform, these are just some questions to think about. Kind of like I mentioned, like, what do your customers do online, right? Like, are they social media influencers? Maybe they love TikTok. It's a great place to meet them. Or maybe you're working with, a different generation where they're like, look, I like email, but I don't love it. I'd rather go and read a newspaper that's physical, right? So maybe those are great people to reach from a different standpoint. Maybe you send them an email, but you're not focusing on their social media impact. What reinforces your brand image? Are you, youthful and fun and you want to get on YouTube and TikTok? Or do you like something that's a little bit more just, flat? I want to put up a picture and a thought process. Maybe I'll put that on LinkedIn and Facebook. Which platforms can help you meet your goals? What gets people excited? What platforms are your competitors on, right? You don't want to be in a completely different place if you know the people you're competing for business with are on Instagram, right? You want to be there too. Use those analytics to your benefit. Where can you put in the time? Some things take a lot of energy. I think TikTok is exhausting. So is YouTube. There's editing, there's pictures, videos, music, all the things. Put me on Instagram. I'll post a post and I'll put a little quote and I can put my link. Good to go. And what will be fun for you, right? You don't want this to be an additional job on top of you running a business and, potentially having employees. Make sure that it's fun, and that will translate as well, right? If you're not having fun, people will know it. And, don't get too caught up in this. Think about it as this is something that's always changing. Social media comes and goes. Yes, there's things that have been constant, but there's also been a lot of things that have changed over the years. So if it's not working for you, move on. Try something else. It's not the end of the world. There's another worksheet in our workbook. It's going to be on page 15. Great way for you to think about, demographics, right? This is a really easy way to help figure out what works best for you. You can think about who your current customers are or the customers that you want to connect with. And then, once you get the most check boxes in a certain area, maybe like, okay, this is the one I need to really focus on, or I haven't even thought about Twitter yet. Let me go and, get a Twitter account going. But this is a great way for you guys to take a look at a little bit more. And it doesn't take much time at all. How to be successful on social media. One thing I will say is that there's some great apps out there that will help you. There's scheduling apps. There's apps that will help you with creating a focus, but put a calendar together for yourself. Don't make this all day, every day. It doesn't mean you have to post all the time in order to get people to engage with you. Maybe you only post on Tuesdays. You have Tax Tuesday or Wisdom Wednesdays. Totally up to you. Think about your timing and frequency. Again, being yourself, and amplify your community. Think about who you are and who you want to serve more, and really put that at the forefront so the people you're trying to connect with will feel what you're bringing out there. Give more than you take, right? Like, give out that information. Like I said, Wisdom Wednesdays. If you give somebody a tip, that's not going to end your business. If anything, it's going to make them feel like, wow, this person really, they're putting it out there for me. Same way that Noah and I do our business. Like, we work with business owners at no cost, right? People are like, oh, well, why do you do it for free? it's so important for us that we're giving back to our communities so that business owners can continue to scale and grow their businesses. And then when they get to that point, we're like, hey, I need more help, then they can come back and, whether it's with us or another institution that they work with, we want to make sure that they have access to the capital, the information, the products and services that they need. So we're trying to prepare you all for that ahead of time. And then be memorable, right? Ask your customers to follow you, ask them to engage with you. Maybe you have a hat that you wear every single time, or you have like a really catchy tagline, something that's going to help people to come back to you and also want to continue to follow you. Should you pay for social media impressions? I think that we met a couple of people that work in social media and those that are on a social media platform as their main business. And, it's just like anything, it's kind of a pay to play, right? If you were to go out and do traditional marketing and advertising, whether it's in a newspaper, a magazine, or just on a regular website, you're probably paying a little bit of money, right? But think of it as an investment in your business, an investment in yourself. I don't want you all to think about, man, but Instagram's free. Why should I pay? Sometimes those ads are how you get in front of the people that you want, right? You get what you pay for. Email marketing, I'm sure many of you do this. People get on your email list, you send them blasts, especially as you're getting into certain seasons of the year or things are coming up, tax changes, law changes. These are a great and reliable digital marketing tool. One thing I will recommend is that if you are using this, ask your customers to add your email to their address book so nothing goes to spam. I lose a lot of stuff to spam because I don't do that for, some of the brands that I love, but the ones that I really like, I do add them to my address book. So just a quick little tip there. If you feel like you're not getting into people's inboxes, just make sure you're asking them to add you. So 46%, this is the percentage of consumers who believe email is the best channel for company contact, preferring it almost twice as much as any other channel. This is probably just simply for the fact that it's there, right? Like if I go check my email today or 3 days from now, the email I got on Monday is still going to be there. And I'm able to go back and reference it like, oh, there was this company I really liked. I'm trying to find their website. I can go back to the email, right? If you send me something in the mail, I'm probably going to put it in the recycling bin along with most other people. And it's kind of, it's static. I know these things are coming. So if you're not using email to your, the most of your advantage, there's so many great programs out there that will help you with your email marketing. Make the investment. So these are just some quick things about email success strategies. Focus on the open. You want people to open your email, right? So something that's going to catch their attention, a call to action in the subject line, something that's going to make them feel like they should open it, and personalizing your message, right? If this is a really basic email that it looks like it went to the masses, I may not care as much. But if it says, hey, Stacy, happy birthday. We're so excited that, you've opened this email. We want to give you something, right? Even if it's small, these are great ways to get somebody engaged and create FOMO, right? Like limited time, right? Like we'll do your first month of books for $1. I know it's probably not the case, but I'm just saying, like if you said, but you have to act by September 15th, that gives me 8 days to make a decision, right? Or you could say ending Friday, that's tomorrow. I have no time. Okay, let me do that. A lot of people really react based on something being taken away from them. These were some of the different email marketing systems that I was talking about: MailChimp, Constant Contact, HubSpot, Campaign Monitor, and ActiveCampaign. There's probably some others out there. Do your research, see what works best for you, whether it's a price point or maybe just the services they offer. I always recommend you take a look at everything that's in the market. I'm sure you all would do the same for other things, especially with your business. Think about what's going to be important for you. These are just some ways to lead capture. I'm sure many of you are, capturing leads, whether it's through COIs, maybe you're asking for referrals. These are some great ways to use your email marketing as well as your website to get those leads, right? So, oh, you just bought something from us or you signed up for our emails. We would love for you to engage with us more. Or maybe somebody comes to your website and they start to navigate away. A pop-up comes up and says, we want to keep in touch. Give us your email address. These are some great things you can do along with social media promotions and giveaways. Again, targeting your audience is all the same as website and social media. Make sure you're doing what your customers or your desired customers are looking for, make it valuable for them, do it on a regular basis. Developing a cadence and working on your timing is going to be incredibly important. If you notice that people are not opening your emails that you send out on Mondays, because some of these programs will tell you your open rates, pick the day when people are most likely to open your emails and shift, right? Really make the most of the time and the energy you're putting into the work that you do for your business. Some of the other ways you can market your business, I mean, these are, the things that we're using every day. Adding, I'm sure some of you buy HelloFresh boxes and inside there's like 15 pieces of paper, right? All these other different businesses you can work with. Find who you can partner with online or other organizations you can partner with that will help to market your business for you. And this is, again, just something I want you all to think about. Which digital marketing space offers your business the biggest opportunity over the next 12 months, right? So once you go through and do the worksheet, maybe take a look at your open rates if you're using a mail program already. Find the ways that are going to be the most effective for you. And what can you do over the next 12 months? We're all getting to the end of the year. I know tax season is upon you all for these extensions to finish things up. And then there's that lull during the holidays. But January, we're all going to hit the ground running again. So as you're getting close to that point, really think about what's going to be most advantageous for you over the rest of the year. So part 3, this is just maximizing your online spaces. Before I move forward, are there any other questions, thoughts as we get into this next section?
Not at the moment. Yeah. So everything is looking
perfect.
good.
Sounds good. All right, let's go on then. Let me just shift here. So a holistic approach can save time and money while improving results. So I want you guys to think about, how do I put this? So you don't want to put a lot of time and energy into something that's not going to be beneficial for you, right? So think of all the ways that you can keep your marketing alive, kind of look at it from the big picture. You don't want to just like focus in just on something that's so pinpoint small. You want to just think about like, how can I approach this from an overall perspective? I did mention earlier SEO. So this is your search engine optimization. You want to make sure that you're being highlighted, even if you're not doing pay-per-click. You want to make sure that the way that your business is set up, your website online, that Google, Yahoo, whatever search engine that people are using, you're going to be one of those first people to pop up, right? Especially, again, if your name is common, you have a franchise that's common, maybe you're one of many in your area. You want to make sure that you're going to be at the highest point. And that's where keywords are going to be really important. You want to make sure that your site performance is up, and there's some great business tools online with Google. I highly recommend that you all take a look at it. If you have questions, there are some digital coaches out there that work specifically on Google. Again, great investment in yourself and your business to take that step to learn more. In our workbook, again, this is an SEO Jumpstart. This is going to be page 26 and 27. Just some things to think about. Write down some keywords. If you don't print our workbook, you can actually type into it as well. But a great way to think about, how do I further optimize my website? And you'll see here, there's also a link for the Google Ads account for you to find the right keywords for your business. As you think forward also, you want to make sure you have some automation. This is kind of like I said with those pop-ups where you get people to want to include their email address if they haven't touched, that part of your website yet. It encourages them to give you their information so you have that lead. But welcome emails like, thank you so much for joining our website. We're really excited to have you. That's a great way to engage already. Reminders about sales that are coming up. It's their birthday coming up, tax season, law changes, all those things are important. Drip campaigns where you're constantly just continuously dripping on a client, right? Like, hey, we've got, this great thing coming up in a month. Hey, 3 weeks until this starts, 2 weeks until this starts. Things that are going to continue to remind a client that things are coming. Requests for feedback. Thank you so much for coming in and having your taxes done with us. We'd love to hear how your experience went. If you could fill out our survey, click here, right? Same thing with recommendations. This is going to be something, if they say it's okay, you can add to your websites, but also it's going to help you with improving your process. And then celebratory occasions, hey, you got through tax season. Oh, it's your birthday coming up. Congratulations on the baby, whatever it is, but things that you can just automate so you're not constantly sitting in front of your computer trying to take care of these things, but it will also help your clients to feel that you really appreciate them. Multi-channel marketing, this is kind of similar to what we're doing right now. So being on multiple platforms at once, you want to make sure that you're linking everything you do in all the places, right? So if you post something on Instagram, you share it to Twitter, people can share it to their networks. You put it on Instagram and you put it in your reels, right? Oh, and that thing you post on Instagram, now you can share it to TikTok. Whatever you need to do, bring all of those places together so people feel like they're getting the same experience no matter where they touch you from. Using lead captures is great. Again, in this case too, like you can give a call to action in any of your platforms asking people, hey, click the link in my bio. We'd love to hear from you, right? So anything that's going to get you to push your business into all of the different places, that's going to be highly important as you, go across different platforms. So this is just a quick quote from a business owner. People tag me on Instagram all the time. They'd say, the restaurants were closed, but I made my own Wazam wings, right? So this is, I think, really something to think about. This business owner, Greg Tillery, had to make a pivot, right? So he was able to reconnect with these customers because of that, right? He's like, all right, the restaurant was closed, but man, you're making the sauce that I have at my restaurant. Like, how do I capitalize on this? What do I need to change? What do I need to make a difference in? If you go into your workbook on page 29, you can see the whole story of what happened. But this is something that, you may be running along, into issues with as well. I know Twitter is a place that a lot of people go because it's squeaky wheel, right? Hey, customer service, I just went to your location and this happened to me. Almost immediately, because it's so out there, somebody from customer success will like, we're really sorry about your experience. Please reach out to us via DM, right? You can figure out ways to utilize your platforms to learn and to grow your business, as well as to combat some of the potential issues that could come up. This is something, again, just to think about. What are some of your ideas for how to market across multiple spaces? If anybody wants to add it to chat or, share with us later, that would be great. We love to hear all of the ways that you guys are doing business and, building upon your brand in, a landscape where you really do have to be in a lot of places, or you have to at least make sure that you know how to manage those places if you haven't already. Do you have anything in the chat before we move on to section 4?
No, so far it looks like everybody's still attentive.
Awesome. Okay. So in this section, we're going to talk a little bit about SMART goals. We're going to talk about establishing metrics, some of the homework that we would recommend for you. But this is going to be a really important part, analyzing and adjusting. I feel like a lot of people go into the digital space and they think, okay, well, I threw up a bunch of videos. I put some pictures out there. Now what? Right? So as you're making your shift into digital, you want to make sure that you're measuring your progress and shifting for things that aren't working for you. So if you're in a space where you're like, man, like I did all this stuff, but I'm not getting new clients, I don't want you to think that that's the end of it. I want you to think about, how can I make a positive change from this? And one of those is having some SMART goals. Many of you probably use these or give them to your clients. We use them all the time. SMART goals are going to be things that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So this may be a specific goal of, I want to increase my client base by 20% by the end of the year. How am I going to make that relevant? I'm going to go into a space where I'm only targeting business owners, because those business owners also have personal taxes. And I've put all of those things into one goal, right? I want to get 20% more customers that are business owners, and I'm going to do it by the end of the year. And is that achievable? Absolutely. But I just have to work for it, right? I want you to think about that same thing with your digital marketing space. I want to get my website up to date by the end of this year. I want to ensure that I can increase my client base by 10% by adding a feature where everybody that comes to my website can put in their email address and I can use that lead to generate additional customers. And all of that's going to be in the range of these SMART goals. Establishing metrics, you can use your Google Analytics, email analytics, social media analytics. If you have set up your sites or your social media as business accounts, Most of the time, the analytics are going to be right there for you. If you don't understand analytics, you should definitely hire a consultant or maybe even have an intern that comes into your business that is really good at those things. It can make the difference, 100% make the difference in the way you use social media and the things that you're posting or the platforms you're on. It'll help you with your timing, the investment you're making if you're doing promoted posts or ads. You want to make sure that you're putting all that effort in the right places. Other kinds of marketing data, you can do online surveys like SurveyMonkey. I think MailChimp has one too. You can get net promoter scores. You can ask your clients on a scale of 1 to 10. And then, think about the return on investment, right? Like, am I getting back what I want from what I'm putting out there? And this is, again, something to think about for yourself. How often are you reviewing marketing data? I will tell you, the last time that I did this presentation, 90% of the people said occasionally to never. And I think it's a big miss, right? This is a place where you can say, okay, I didn't do enough. Like, man, this is not the right place for me to put my efforts. So I definitely recommend, if you're not reviewing, once you get off of this call, go to your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, look at your analytics, look at your impressions. How are you reaching people and who is looking at your posts? So a learning culture is essential. Marketing data is not easy. Just like anything, those of you who have been doing taxes for a long time, I'm sure it wasn't easy when you first started. And if it was, you are a unicorn. You should teach classes for sure, because all of these things, it takes an expert, right? And you may be really great at taxes. That doesn't mean you're gonna be great at social media. Nobody expects you to be. Find the expert or find the approach that works for you and be really intentional about it. How to build a learning culture. And this is for anything, collect your data, make sure it's clean and useful. Don't just do the outliers. Look at the real main data. Create a dashboard. This is going to be really important, where you can see everything in one place. Again, pick the social media that works for you, and maybe that main platform is the one that you use, and you use their dashboard, or you hire somebody that can do it for you. Regularly share what you're learning, right? Share with your teams, share with whoever's doing your marketing. Hey, I was looking at my dashboard and it looks like these videos we're posting aren't getting any hits. Like, is there something we can change up? This doesn't meet our demographic. And encourage experimentation. If you have somebody else that's doing social media for you or marketing in general, say, hey, like, I love what you're doing, but I had a thought. Can we try it out? Or maybe you just do it yourself. These are going to be ways that you can learn from your mistakes, learn from your wins even, right? And double down on what makes the most sense. All right. This one is a little bit more involved. I would definitely recommend that after this, go into the workbook, look at A/B testing. It's kind of like, is A better or is B better? But it's going to really depend on, your type of business. So if you're a tax preparer, bookkeeper, if you do business consulting, this is the workbook page for the dashboard that you can create. So this is on page 36. But when you're doing A/B testing, if you don't know much about it, please reach out to myself and Noe, because I think it is something that we can do more one-on-one talking about, because everybody's going to be very different. And I want to make sure we give you the attention that you need when it comes to A/B testing. All right, this is kind of the last piece of this. I want to get through it before we end for the day. It's only a couple of slides, but owning your digital spaces is really important. I want you guys to really think about how you've claimed your space online, especially if you're in a very saturated market. I want you to think about, have I made changes that are beneficial for my business? Am I going to see the change that I wish to see from it? And can you see a way that changing your marketing can take you to the next level? If you guys look on 38 and 39 of the workbook, when you take a look at it, it gives some great information on how to do more with, summarizing your progress as you change your marketing perspectives. Because we're coming up to the end of this, I do want as many people as possible to put in any or all of the chats. What is the first thing that you are going to do to raise your digital marketing game, right? So once we get off this call and, you get your coffee or, have your lunch, what would you do first? What is one thing that sticks out in your mind that you could do better or do differently? And I really want you all to share with each other, because it might be something that somebody else hasn't thought about. And depending on where you are in your business journey, you could be the change that somebody else needs. So I invite you all to please put something in the chat. Also, as you saw, the next page is questions. So at this point, because we are at the end of the full presentation, I'd love to take any questions you might have. I'm also going to take a moment to put mine and Noe's information in the Zoom chat. So Vince, I don't know if you can translate it to the other platforms, but we'd love to hear from you. So I'll leave the floor to everybody that's here on the Zoom and every other platform you're joining us from.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacy. And this was actually really great information. Social media platforms right now are really important, especially a lot of the customers are in Facebook. And one key element that you said was, who is your demographic? Who are you catering to?
Right.
And the follow-up would be, how do I stand out in the masses? Everybody's in
Absolutely.
social media, so how do I stand out? Would be something that I would probably be questioning myself. How do I stand out? And what else can I provide that maybe my neighbor down the street is not providing? So services.
Absolutely. I think that's really key here, right? Like, what am I going to do to raise my digital marketing game? Maybe that is, I'm going to find the way that I stand out, right? Like, how do I stand out in a crowd of black polo shirts, right? Maybe like I said, I wear a hat, I have a tagline. What's going to make you different? And thank you for sharing that, Vince, because I think we forget about that sometimes. Like, what is my flair? What do I bring to the table that's different?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what other good things? I guess a good example would be like, what's the first thing that pops into your head when you hear fest? I'm thinking pool party. Just kidding.
No, you
But,
don't. No, I know what you mean. No, I think that is important, right? Like, it goes back to the very beginning with branding, right? Like, when I see a certain color scheme, or I see a logo, what do I think of first? Right? Like, I'm still thinking about like the 10 and 40 from Fest, right? Like, this is the 10th Fest, 40 years in business for Latino tax, right? Like, you're looking at the big thing, but it's also 1040, like the tax forms, right? Like, it
exactly.
keeps you thinking. So, for all of you who are, oh, I see Jessica, polish my brand and upgrade my SEO presence. Thank you for sharing that. I'm telling you, SEO is one of the first things that I look at when I work with business owners. They'll tell me their business name. I go straight to Google. I type it in. And if they're not one of the first people I find, I'm like, where are you? I'm like, what do you mean? I found 15 other, Castillo tax services. Where are you? And I think that's usually an aha moment for a lot of people. Are like, oh, wow, like, I never really thought about how people would find me. Or again, like, are my hours correct? Is my phone number updated? Who are they calling when they find me? Are they calling someone else? Really great feedback, Jessica. Thank you.
Yeah, because one of the things, like you said, once they tell me like, oh, I'm Stacy with Chase, I'm gonna look up Chase, and then I see like, oh, your hours of our operation are 9 to 6, but in reality, you're just 9 to 5.
Right.
I'm like, oh wait, and that little things that nobody thinks about, even during tax season. If you have extended hours, let the clients know.
Right.
Especially in this industry, our people come out late from work, and after tax season, if you don't plan to keep those hours open, definitely also update it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to actually, if we can, I want to give the floor over to Noe real quick, since I know he's doing our next presentation. I do want to thank you all for joining, and, think about this as business owners. Are there things that the businesses or the individuals that you work with could benefit from coming to one of these sessions? I would love for you to invite, especially the business owners, for the next one that Noe is going to be presenting on. I know he'll give you a quick synopsis, but if you think that you can help your business owners that you work with do more for their business, please invite them to this next session, because I think it's really, really important that they learn this information. So I'll pass it to you, Noe.
Thank you once again, Stacy. Great presentation, and I hope this was a valuable presentation for everyone, and you guys were able to learn about new tools and resources for you and your business, and hopefully able to provide that extra exposure and extra business development for you and your clients. So next, in a couple of weeks from now, we're going to be talking about actually navigating your cash flow, right? Which is something very important that you talk to your business owners, so every day. How do you maximize your cash in? How do you minimize your cash out, right? That's going to be very important, because at the end of the day, we want to see a positive bottom line on every business, with every business owner that we interact with and that you work with, and yourself as a business owner, you should be working with, right? Making sure that every time, when you're wrapping up your year and you see all your earnings and all of your operational expenses, you end up with a positive number. So we'll talk about some of the best practices and things that you should definitely be sharing with your business owners. So looking forward to that. So I'm going to pass it back to Vicente, so he can kind of provide some more details on that and get us going in a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Noe. And I actually just added in the chat, you don't have to wait until you see the link. You can actually register now. I'm actually putting it in our social media platforms. And talk. We're going to be talking. Noe is actually going to be talking about navigating your cash flow. So this is going to be a really, really good topic. As Stacy mentioned, if you have business owners that you can see that could potentially benefit from attending an event like this, we definitely would recommend you forward them the link, or reach out to Noe or Stacy, and they can send them the link, or myself. I'll be more than happy to send the link out to anybody. The more we can educate our community and our business owners, the better off they are, and the more they look at you as the community leaders. I want to go to that person, because this person always has the connections, the knowledge, the information, and that's basically what we want to make sure and bring out of everybody here. So thank you, Noe. I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to be September 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any other questions, please let us know. You can submit them in the comment section as well. We'll keep adding them to we'll keep adding and tagging Stacy and Noe. So anything else before we leave, Noe or Stacy?
Just thank you to everybody that joins us today. We really appreciate you being here, listening, hearing what we have to share. We can't do this work without you all as well. Send us, anybody you think would benefit from working with a business consultant. Again, there's no obligation for them to be a Chase customer. There's no obligation for them to pay anything. We're really just here to continue to elevate Black and Brown communities and those that are underserved within the business community as well. So if you feel like there's something that you aren't sure about, come to us. We will help you either ourselves, or we'll help to find an expert who can. But it's been a pleasure, and we look forward to our next presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And Noe, any last words?
Same thing as Stacy. Just echo Stacy's message, which is, we're hoping that we brought some value to you, and thank you for the time investment that you made today, and looking forward within a couple of weeks to do also that hour of investment. But at the end of the day, it's giving you back that education and giving you back that power to you and your communities.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for participating. And we're getting some comments back, like, thanks, excellent presentation. Thanks, great information. Thank you, everybody, for participating and letting us know that this is the information that you guys want to see. Definitely looking forward to next, in a couple of weeks' presentation from Noe. Don't miss that one out. I have the registration link there, and I'm going to include it. And if you're subscribed to our newsletters, open them up. You'll be able to see that there as well, and you can forward it to whom you think may benefit from this. So for now, this concludes our presentation, and we're looking forward to the next one here in a couple of weeks. Thank you, Noe and Stacy. See you soon.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.